This is the journey of how my brother and I built a drift trike. You're probably wondering what it is. It's a drift car combined with a tricycle, and you slap an engine into the tricycle, put some really slippery wheels on it, and you've essentially built yourself a really sketchy drift trike. The reason we wanted to build one of these things was because we have absolutely zero experience building anything at all, and we thought it'd be really fun to jump into a super complex project that we got the idea from of a guy named Colin Furs. He kind of makes stuff, and that's kind of where we got our inspiration from. And the reason that we watch stuff like that is because my brother and I are really into cars and just working with our hands, building stuff like that. So we kind of got into the whole fabricating stuff while we were working on our cars, and it just kind of sparked our minds into making cooler projects that were outside of cars. We started with just kind of a basic list of what we needed. I mean, stuff for the engine, the tires, axle, metal for the chassis, a BMX bike so that we could essentially just ruin the BMX bike and turn it into, another bike. And it kind of went well at first. We were building the chassis. It was going pretty well. We, bolted it all together, drilled all the holes in the right places, and we thought it was going pretty great because the chassis was taking some great form. I mean, it was going fantastic. We were having a couple problems here and there with alignment because we were using an angle grinder to cut the steel, but it was going pretty well. Pretty soon we had the 79cc 3 horsepower engine slapped on that bad daddy, and she actually did pretty well. But there were a few minor flaws. There wasn't enough power, and the chassis wobbled like a seesaw. It was the worst thing to ride on ever. So my brother and my dad, they went to the lovely old Harbor Freight, got us a welder for the cheapest amount they could possibly find, and we hoped and prayed that, well, it would work. Besides the welder, we also decided we really need some more juice in this thing, so we got a 7 horsepower engine. Now, to use this welder, we needed some expertise, and the community really came towards us, and this is my buddy Ethan, who actually knows how to weld, surprisingly. I mean, if you looked at him, you probably wouldn't think so, but he's pretty dang good. So he helped my brother and I weld it together and kind of create the final masterpiece that is now the drift trike. And I gotta say, it works flawlessly for two guys who jumped into a project in which they have absolutely zero expertise. And I mean, we just kind of had a passion and had a whole lot of time because of the coronavirus, and we just kind of charged after it. Um, I would not change a single thing about the experience of this drift trike. My brother and I mean, we learned a whole lot of things about fabricating along the way, and I think we created a little bit of a bond over this drift trike. Not to get too sentimental on you, but thank you very much for watching, and I appreciate your time.